My name is Patricia Monroe. I am 84 years old. And my own daughter tried to erase me from the life I built, using my own identity. It started with small changes. The kind that don't look like betrayal at first. Only convenience. My daughter, Jessica, began visiting more often. At first, I was happy. She brought coffee, asked about my health, sat with me in the evenings. "You should rest more, Mom," she would say softly. "I can help you manage things. You've done enough." Enough. That word again. As if my life had a limit they could measure. I built Monroe Holdings from nothing. A small investment office that became a multinational portfolio group. Real estate, energy, tech, all under my name. My signature meant millions. My decisions shaped thousands of jobs. And Jessica knew all of it. She grew up watching it. But she never built anything herself. That's where it began to change. Slowly. Quietly. First, she offered to help with my emails. Then my appointments. Then my financial statements. "I just want to make your life easier," she said. But easy is often the word people use. Before they take control. Then came the lawyer. A man I had never seen before. Jessica introduced him as someone who helps with paperwork. Paperwork. Always paperwork. Never truth. He explained calmly. "We should consolidate access to your accounts for efficiency." Efficiency. Another dangerous word. Jessica nodded beside him, smiling. Too confident. And I watched. Not reacting. Just watching. Because I knew something they didn't. I had already seen this pattern before. Years ago. When partners tried to take advantage of my trust. When board members underestimated me. When competitors thought age meant weakness. They all made the same mistake. They underestimated silence. So I said nothing. I signed nothing. I agreed to nothing. But Jessica didn't stop. She started showing up with documents already filled out. "Just sign here, Mom. This is routine. This is for your protection." Protection. Always protection. Never honesty. Then one day I noticed something wrong. A login notification. From my corporate system. Access from a device I didn't recognize. Then another. And another. Someone was inside my company accounts. From my own identity credentials. My pulse stayed steady. But my mind sharpened. Because I understood immediately. This wasn't assistance. This was replacement. She wasn't helping me. She was becoming me. That night, I called my chief legal advisor. A woman who had worked with me for 18 years. "Claire," I said. "Someone has access to my executive credentials." A pause. Then, "That is impossible unless they have your legal authorization." Exactly. And I hadn't authorized anything. Not yet. The next morning, I acted normal. I made tea. I read the newspaper. I let Jessica arrive like nothing was wrong. She kissed my cheek. "You look tired, Mom." "I'm fine," I replied. She smiled. But her eyes didn't. They were calculating. Always calculating. "I brought something for you to sign," she said. A new folder. Thicker than before. "This is just to transfer operational control temporarily." Temporarily. A word that always becomes permanent in the wrong hands. I opened it. Slowly. And I saw it. Full executive authority transfer. Medical override permissions. Financial restructuring control. And a clause labeled Emergency Incapacitation Declaration. My name was already filled in. I closed the folder and looked at her. "You've been busy," I said calmly. She smiled softly. "It's just to make things easier." I nodded. "Yes, for you." That was the first crack. But she didn't notice. Or she didn't care. That evening, I made a decision. Not emotional. Not reactive. Strategic. I activated a private legal safeguard I created years ago. A hidden corporate protocol. One only accessible through direct attorney verification. A protocol called Monroe Silent Lock. It meant one thing. If my identity was ever misused, everything would freeze. Silently. Immediately. Without warning. Including access attempts made under my name. Jessica had no idea it existed. No one did. Except me. And Claire. 2 days later, it happened. Jessica arrived early. panic in her voice. Mom, something is wrong with the accounts. I looked up. Calm. What kind of wrong? I asked. Everything is locked. I can't access anything. I sipped my tea. Interesting. She frowned. This isn't funny. I agree, I said. It isn't. She pulled out her phone, showing error messages, frozen systems, blocked credentials. And then she said it. I think someone is interfering with the company controls. I nodded slowly. Yes. She looked at me sharply. Do you know something about this? I placed my cup down. Yes, I said. I do. Silence. Then I added. Because I activated it. Her expression changed instantly. Confusion. Fear. Then anger. You what? I stood up slowly and walked to my desk, opened a drawer, and placed a sealed envelope on the table. My real authorization file, I said. Claire entered the room at that moment. Calm. Professional. Everything is legally verified, she confirmed. Jessica's voice rose. This is my company too. I looked at her. Very calmly. No, I said. It is not. She froze. I continued. You didn't take over my company. You tried to impersonate me inside it. Silence. Then I opened the envelope and slid one document forward. My original executive will and control structure. Her name was not on it. Anywhere. Her face went pale. That's impossible, she whispered. No, I replied. It's documented. Claire stepped forward. Any unauthorized access has already been flagged and reported. Jessica turned to me. Her voice broke slightly. Mom, I was trying to help you. I looked at her for a long moment. Not angry. Not emotional. Just honest. No, I said quietly. You were trying to replace me. That sentence changed everything. She stepped back. For the first time, uncertain. Because she realized something. I wasn't reacting. I was already finished deciding. The legal process that followed was quiet. No drama. No public scandal. Just corporate enforcement. Account restrictions. Audit trails. Internal review. And truth, fully documented. Jessica was not arrested. But she was removed from every level of authority. Permanently. And trust? That was gone long before the paperwork ended. Weeks later, she came to see me. One last time. She looked different. Smaller. Not physically, but emotionally. I didn't think you'd go that far, she said. I nodded. I didn't either, I replied. Until you forced me to. Silence. Then she asked softly, do you still love me? I paused. Long enough for honesty to exist. Yes, I said. But I no longer trust you. That was worse for her. I could see it. Because love without trust is just memory. She left without another word. Now I sit in my office again. Same chair. Same view. Same company. But different reality. Because I learned something at 84. People don't always try to destroy you. Sometimes. They try to become you. And the only way to survive that is to make sure your identity is never something they can copy. Not legally. Not emotionally. Not operationally. Ever.